What happens when South Florida's favorite bug lady and her brother, a bug expert in his own right, team up? You get a dynamic duo ready to educate, protect, and entertain. Stay tuned to hear the buzz about their mission, their work, and why bugs are cooler than you think.
Nice. Hello, friends. That's right, Dan. We're talking all things bugs, the creepy, the crawly, and the cool. Lettie and Sean are bringing their passion for pest control and education to the Digital Mayors podcast, and we can't wait to dive in.
So welcome back to the Digital Mayors podcast. And if this is your first time joining us, we are thrilled that you pushed play. Thank you so much for your time. This is where we like to spotlight and uncover the things, the people, the businesses, the organizations that make South Florida such a great place to live, work, play, learn, and give.
That's right. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back to the family. Today's episode will leave you crawling with excitement. And don't worry, if it bugs you too much, we have the exterminator right here. Today, we're putting the spotlight on an extraordinary duo who are making a real impact, not just in pest control, but in education and community outreach.
Well, they're good, huh? These guys are good. So let's give a big welcome to Lettie Cronin. Woo! She is a passionate entomologist and educator who's also known as the Bug Lady. And her brother, Sean, is the vice president of the Family and Business Great Southern Environmental Services. Lettie, Sean, welcome to the Digital Mayors podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yes, but before we crawl into the world of bugs,
Ooh,
let's talk about the world
good.
of homes. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or financing a home, Dan and I and our teams are here to make the process seamless and enjoyable. At the Nathanson Brothers Real Estate and Mortgage Team, we're more than your real estate and mortgage team. We're your neighbors and advocates. Mention the Digital Mayors podcast and get $750 credit towards your home appraisal. Visit nathansonbrothers.com today, and let's get you moving.
Yeah, man, my brother's good, right? Again, it's nathansonbrothers.com because it's always the right time to work with the right team.
True that.
That works for you guys too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to take that. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
I appreciate it.
That's okay.
Feel free.
$10 every time you say it. Say as many times as you like.
Sounds like a plan to me. All right. Put on my tab.
So, Lettie, Sean, Great Southern Environmental Services began in 2001. Tell us a little bit about how this all started.
That is actually a very interesting story because it started with our dad, who was the original Orkin man. So he actually owned Great Southern Landscapes in New York in the 80s. Unfortunately, both of his parents passed within 6 months of each other.
Wow.
He didn't know what to do. He moved down here, ended up in Orkin. He was one of their top salesmen and held that title for many years. Wow. And my mom's only request was be home by dinner. Orkin started messing with his schedule, so he moved over to Hewlett, and the Rice brothers and Tim Hewlett himself turned to him and said, you really need to start your own company.
Wow.
And sure enough, he said a lot of prayers and asked for very specific things. Both Sean and I showed interest, and he said, all right, I'm going to start this. And
so cool, huh?
So cool.
I love that. That's amazing, right? Love that the family run, the whole thing.
I don't trust family. I would never
family?
recommend working with family.
Cooties, especially. It's good to say cooties today, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Cootie bugs, gross. So Lettie, you are known as the Bug Lady,
yes.
right? That is your thing, and you have built an amazing outreach program.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. It's more than a nickname. Share what inspired you to start Bug Lady and what's it all about?
That is a fantastic question, and it's one of my biggest passions. So growing up, I wasn't the smartest student compared to Sean Paul. Sean Paul was a straight A student.
Uh-oh.
And
Wait,
I used to frustrate.
This Sean Paul?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Straight A student. It was impressive. And he wouldn't have to study. I'd have to spend hours studying. And I unfortunately was told I was going to be a high school dropout. All that and the hardships with that. And I just made a decision from a young age that no matter what I do, I'm going to go back into schools to inspire kids to prove that they can do it.
Wow.
And that's where it started. How I ended up in entomology is a lot crazier of a whirlwind, but I'm very thankful to be an entomologist, and I go into schools. And the craziest part about that in particular was my dad was the one who said you should go back into schools, because I did it at UF. It's a part of the program.
Okay.
You have to go into schools to teach kids about bugs. And he goes, you guys don't come to Southeast Florida. You need to start this. So in 2019, Sean Paul graduated, took over Great Southern, and my dad and I tried to start it. COVID hit, which was really rough, and we went through a lot there. And then in 2022, Sean Paul, out of nowhere, said, hey, you need to start this back up. You need to do this. This
That's
is your
good
dream.
support.
And here we are.
Love that.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
I got to be honest, just on my perspective, it was at the end of COVID, and we were sitting there, and both of us obviously were missing pops, and we were trying to figure out how to connect the two passions that they had was bugs and kids. Because if we were at Disney and there was a little baby in front, pops would be
Of course.
messing with
Right.
the toes, and the kid would be laughing and stuff. And so Lettie and I, we had those same passions, and especially Lettie, of course, as the bug lady. So I looked at her, I was like, look, we got to go to these local schools, and we got to teach these kids about bugs. Don't be messing around here. You're taking it away from them by not spreading your love for this. And sure enough, we walked into these schools, and it's funny because it was right after COVID, so a lot of these schools are saying, what are you doing here? Like, why are you, we're door knocking. We're practically door knocking at schools. And sure enough, we got a call at the Little Bees Academy down the road from our house, and it's spiraled into teaching over 5,000 students over the past 2 years, 2.5 years.
Amazing.
And most of that is just her, honestly. I just stand there in a cockroach costume while the kids make fun of me.
Well, listen, you can almost tell that they tolerate each other, right?
A little bit.
A little bit.
What good support from a younger sibling, right?
That's
Oh,
cool.
100%.
He likes you.
Oh, yeah.
I admire that. I wish I had a younger sibling that liked me.
Yeah. Well, keep looking,
the
buddy.
best.
Keep looking.
We're like that too. We know that we have a weird relationship, that we really like each other. Are you guys the same?
Oh, 100%.
We
People
say
think
it
we're
all
crazy.
the time. We're like it's weird that we love each other and like each other and we spend time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, but it's we do.
It's so important, and it works.
Yeah.
Family's
Yeah.
important.
Faux show.
I love
Awesome.
that.
Now, Sean, you're an integral part of the business as well. I've
Kinda,
heard,
a
I
little
guess.
bit. Off to the side.
So what's it like working with your sister, and how do you balance the science side with the business side?
Ooh.
I know you love the science part.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
fantastic
We
question.
talked about that.
So as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I'm not the best scientist. I got to be honest. When it comes to biology, anatomy, oh my goodness, don't take me back. That was one of the hardest classes ever. Love the teachers, love the subjects and everything, but I couldn't keep up when it comes to science. And so my father sent me out because I always had a knack for salesmanship. So my father would always bring me around and do the sales side of things, and he had me go into business school, and I got a degree in agricultural economics, so I'm able to utilize the business aspects of the degree.
Right.
However, coming back into pest control, it was very challenging because it's like, well, what kind of fertilizer should you put on this lawn? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of different
Right.
fertilizers.
Like I have an agricultural business degree. Like there's a lot to that.
And now I'm reading a Lawn 101 book, and I'm sitting here going, I'm usually reading self-help, behavioral economics books, and now I'm reading about bugs. But honestly, Lettie is the biggest part of that because I come to her and I go to somebody's house, they go, what is this? I go, give me 20 minutes. I go to Lettie, I go, what is this? And then I go back to them and I
You
go,
get a
"This is what it
dissertation."
is." Yeah, straight up. But then I look good, she
Of
looks
course.
good, it's
and
fantastic.
the customer's happy.
Yep. And we were able to drill down into the actual issue. We don't just tell them, oh, that's a beetle. No, this is a flower beetle. This is a species. This is what we need to do. And they're like, how do you know this? I go, I don't.
Right.
She
But
does.
the bug lady does.
Like, yeah, I got no idea what's going
and
on.
here's why we either let it be or squash it, right? Like
Yep.
that's
That's it.
right. There's a lot, for the environment. Bugs are pretty important,
Yes.
Very important.
right? There's and that's why you teach in schools. Tell us about that. Like, so when you go into a school, what is it that you're teaching the kids about?
Well, we know what Sean does. He just stands there.
He
stands
dressed
there
like
like
a
a
cockroach.
Stand there.
By
look
the way,
great.
you can see Sean online in his cockroach costume.
Please look it up. Leave a comment. Share it.
Yeah,
I'll
Oh,
share it.
social
Absolutely.
media. Is he on at Bug Lady?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
All right, you'll have
We'll
to.
make
You
sure
gotta put it
I
up there.
You have
Make
to put.
sure,
You have to
yeah.
put one up there. But there are some social media videos of Sean in the.
Yeah.
You got to check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, like, what is it besides having the handsome cockroach next to you?
Handsome. Appreciate
I'm
that.
trying to be
yeah,
nice.
Hey, just throw me a bone
trying
every
to be
once in a
nice.
while.
I'm trying
I
to be nice.
appreciate it.
I'm not gonna lie. I have to give credit to Dr. Baldwin up at the University of Florida because she taught me literally everything that I know. And her biggest thing was just engaging on the basics. So you start off with how many body parts does an insect have? Are all insects bugs? But are all bugs insects? And you kind of engage them in that. It's very hands-on. And the greatest part about it is every kid is mesmerized because they're at that age where insects aren't scary.
Right.
We are actually taught to be scared of insects, where if it's a little kid, they'll pick it up. I had a little
problem
boy
at all.
pick up a centipede, be like, I got bit 10 times by this. Okay, let's put that down. Thank you. But the greatest part about it is the fact that these kids, they're so mesmerized by it, and they grow up wanting to be a bug or science field, and that's my biggest dream for the majority of kids, is to know not only do you or you have the ability to be able to go do your dreams, but you can do it and also run your own business. Like, you can have fun too, which is always extremely
That's
important.
awesome. Right, and so inspiring the kids is really what it's about.
Oh yeah.
And then you have
Yeah. I
Sean
show them,
McBuzz.
this is what happens when you don't go to school. And I'm standing there in the
No, you were
cockroach
there.
costume.
No, you were there. Right. So speaking of inspiration, Lettie, you recently won Female Entrepreneur
know.
of the Year
That's a big
through your
deal.
business
Thank you.
coaching program, right?
That's amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what does that recognition mean to you?
It was really important for me at that time because of everything that we've been through. So just a little introspection. When I graduated from the University of Florida, 11 days later, we lost my mother to breast cancer.
Oh wow.
And from that moment on, I went from being a caregiver to running a business because my father was very depressed. They were soulmates. I had the opportunity to see soulmates. And he was in and out of the hospital, ended up being put on a transplant list, an organ transplant list, and unfortunately did not make it in 2021.
Wow.
And the hardest part about that is you sit here and you're like, okay, you had your two most important people in your life who supported you through everything. They're gone.
Yeah.
Now you have to really trust yourself. And that was before we met Coach Mike, and we were trying to navigate that. So when I went to apply for it, at first I kind of like disassociated.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't think I deserved it. I was just like, oh, there's probably like more people out there. And then they finally called my name and I went up there, and like I say, I'm very put together. So when I went up there, I just did what I needed to do and got off the stage. 6 weeks later, I finally broke down with my business coach, and he goes, took you long enough. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it means a lot because of the fact that it proves that, like, one thing my dad used to always say to us growing up is what happens to you does not define who you are. You define who you are.
Correct. That's beautiful. And it's got to just feel so good that you took what Dad started and made it into something and were recognized for it.
Yeah.
That you're not proud of your sis at all, I don't imagine, right?
No, not at all. No.
He was the loudest person in the room.
Of course he was. Of course he was. Like, whenever my brother wins something, I'm like, you try and hold me back,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You've got to be the biggest cheerleader,
Yes.
whatever the word is. I can't remember words.
I gotta be honest real quick. When she won the award, I actually told people to excuse me, and they were at their table, but it was the better view. So I was going, "You get no, move." And so as she's giving her speech, I
Yes.
was right there, and they
Damn
were all
right.
looking at me, and they didn't. I appreciated them. Shout out to all the business owners that moved out of my way without saying a word. But when she did win, like even in the video that I have, you can't hear anything else other than me. And I was
Hooting and
just
hollering.
going absolutely
Of course.
insane. So it was just awesome to see.
Yes,
her
listen,
get
you're
up
so
there.
proud of your sister because you know what, like when they talk about success, right? People only see the accomplishment. They don't see all the choices you had to make and all the hard times you had to go through. And
sweat,
all the
blood, and
sweat
tears.
the blood, right?
Yep.
Small business owners, everybody in this room, Ben included, small business owners. And we've talked about this before. It just takes so much to do that. So good for you. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I am. Once it finally sunk in, it was just tremendous.
Yeah, I love that.
I also I got something that you guys might
Tell me, Ben.
love.
Is it a bug?
Oh,
There it is.
look at this guy.
Hey,
There it is.
I found it.
There he is.
I found it.
So yeah,
Oh, geez.
one of the kids did that, and I wasn't expecting.
Remember, don't get
good.
Love that.
Great Southern.
There we
Great
go.
Southern Environmental.
That's
Great
awesome.
Southern environment.
That is so cool.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Passionate and have fun and do
Thank
a
you,
great
Ben.
job. And
Thank
it's
you for
almost
that, Ben.
Ben. It's
Appreciate
almost
that.
like you've got my notes here, because I was going to ask.
Oh,
So, Sean, what other than what we just witnessed,
Yeah.
What-
Sorry about that.
what sets Great Southern apart
Other than
from the
dressing up as a
competition, right?
cockroach.
Other than listen, you guys just clearly in the community outreach and making a difference in the community that alone clearly sets you apart. Right. Other than that, what makes you guys different?
Honestly, it's experience. You know, not a lot of people in the industry, even these bigger companies, they have entomologists on staff. We not only have an entomologist on staff, but we also have one in ownership, and she's sitting right here, Lettie, the bug
cool.
lady. And I know you mentioned like what different from the community outreach, but not only when you do business with Great Southern, I am personally going to do everything possible to solve your pest control issue. But if I don't know it, and this is what I tell my customers, if I don't know it, my sister knows it. Yeah. And if for some reason she doesn't know it off the top of her head, we're going to figure it out, because we have troves and troves of entomology books and resources and friends in the industry that are going to solve the issue and get drill all the way down to it. So not only is your problem going to be solved and you're going to be happy and that peace of mind at your house, but I know it's the big sales thing, I guess you could say, but going around to the local schools, teaching kids about bugs, not only is your bug problem solved, but you can feel good that you're supporting an organization that goes around to teach these kids.
Cares about the community.
Yeah, and we just give back, and I've never seen another pest control company go that far, and it's not even me, it's her, and that's why I try and explain to people. So it's just it's unbelievable. It's really her. She is what makes us different.
She's the bug lady.
She's the bug lady. I'm just a salesman. And my dad always told me that. Yeah. You're just a sales guy. Figure it out. Right? Yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, the brains is back there.
Yep. I wouldn't even call myself the brawn at this point either, though. Yeah. So I don't know what I am.
The cockroach.
Listen,
this cockroach.
You filthy cockroach. As long as the check's clear, don't say anything.
That's it. Yeah, I don't mind. I'll do whatever.
What I was going to say about what you just said is something that I learned a long time ago to realize and accept in the real estate businesses or any of the businesses is we're so fortunate to have resources that are good enough and vast enough that there's not a problem we can come across that as a group we can't figure out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's us and it's so cool that you have that kind of resource literally sitting next to you that probably most questions stop with Lettie the bug lady.
Yes.
I imagine once in a while there's I
wish I had that.
I don't know. Like that's, when the Men in Black bug is in somebody's house, maybe that might go to Dr. Baldwin or whomever and figure that out. But that's it's cool that you have that resource. I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
She's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
And so Sean and Lettie, when you're not working, I know that's not very often, but when you're not working, how do you enjoy South Florida? Was there a favorite spot or activity, or what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do on a day off?
I gotta say, I am very big on the Everglades. I always have been. If you go over to MacArthur, which is up off past Jog, right? It's like as far out west as you can go. It's absolutely beautiful out there. You can watch the sunset. It's absolutely stunning. And
over the Everglades.
Yes,
that's got to be beautiful.
It's out of this world, and it's just a very beautiful area. And the wildlife and nature that you can see in there that's native to Florida is equally as amazing. So I love the nature walks that we have here. That one is my go-to place. I'm there at least once a month. Genuinely
is that MacArthur Park?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? I've never been.
Yeah, it's like straight out west. I'm maybe
West,
messing up the name like a smidge, but you'll know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean?
It's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I love going to the Everglades, but I also do paddleboarding and kayaking. And
Nice.
I haven't done that in the past year or so, but after Mom passed, because she passed 3 days before my senior year, I actually ended up every time I came home, I just grabbed my paddleboard and go out on the go out on the intercoastal right there off of El Rio Park off of 18th and Dixie, and there's a little small craft launch in the back. So I just launched there and just sit there by myself, and my friends would actually go, "Where'd you go? It's been like 6 hours. I haven't heard from you." I'm sunburned. I'm all out there on the paddleboard. Boats are trying to knock me over, but I'm out in the middle of nature. And there's moments where you're just sitting there for like 30 minutes. All you hear are bugs chirping, birds chirping, singing, the whole nine, and the trees rustling. And it really helped me just kind of get zen. And so I got to get back into that. But I also, as you guys know, but I'll tell you guys, I do ride motorcycles here and there. And every
from
once
here
in
to
a
there.
while, yeah, exactly,
and back,
exactly. And every once in a while, I get it fixed up. I got a 1957 F100 truck that I got myself when I was 15, and it was my dad and I. And it's the same year my dad was born, actually. So,
cool.
So I drive that around here and there, but not too often because I don't trust people down here in Southeast Florida.
There's a lot of community events that love his truck too.
I
so
imagine.
we're
of course,
involved in those as well.
I imagine. And by the way, you're more concerned about drivers in the 1957 F-150 and not on the motorcycle?
The motorcycles I'm very, very careful on. I actually it's mostly just to say I have one at this point, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, let me take it around the block. And then I take it around the block and I'm like, all right, let's put it back.
Can I tell you, I'm the same. my brother will be happy to hear that I'm considering
Good. Do it.
selling my bike
Thank you.
because
I hate it.
And here's the problem. I love it, right? It's one of the best feelings in the world to ride a motorcycle. It's amazing. And as I drive around in my car all the time, I find myself becoming a distracted driver, fixated on the assholes on their phone
Yep.
in their car, and like I'm defensive of the other motorcycles and scooters and I'm like, I'm so focused on them that I'm like, okay, law of attraction, I don't want to bring this to me, and then that's going to be in my head when I'm out riding my bike. So I'm trying to figure out my zen, and because I love riding and I'm a safe person and I don't want to get hit by somebody. So yeah, so it's James Rodriguez.
How about this? You
Won't
sell
be happy to
yours.
hear that.
No, yeah, that's not gonna- You sell yours. I'll sell mine, and then my dad and I's plan was to go to Spain and do a motorcycle trip across the western
Vamos,
side of Spain.
vámonos.
Vámonos. Let's go.
Okay,
We'll go together.
Duolingo.
Hey, sounds like a plan to me.
Enjoy. I'll go to the restaurant while you ride.
Yeah,
I was thinking the
we get-
same.
I am anti-motorcycle.
Hey, we'll get you a trike or something. It's not a
Oh.
motorcycle. It's a
I'll do that.
bicycle. Yeah,
I'll
sounds
do
like
that.
fun.
I hate when he rides. I'm like on Life 360, like he stopped moving. Hopefully, is he at a red light? Is he okay? Dan, you good?
Yeah.
Don't answer.
In your defense, yeah, exactly. Even when she's in her Honda Passport, I'm doing that. I'm just staring at it. She went to Alabama this week. I was sitting there like all day, just tracking.
It's the
her.
worst app.
Yes.
My wife makes so much fun of me. We'll be sitting on the couch watching TV, and I've got it on. I'm like, because I've got a kid now who's driving,
Yeah.
and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, Mikey's going, oh, that's a little fast. We're gonna have to talk to him about that. He was supposed to be here. Why is he like half a mile away there? What's going on? We got to call him. What's going on?
And your wife's like, "What happened?" And you're like, "Uh huh."
Correct. That's kind of the way it works. In the office, listen, my brother takes it so far. Look at his face.
I know what you're gonna
Look
say.
at his face. We're in the office, and so my younger nephew Jacob goes to
Don Estridge.
Don Estridge Middle School here in Boca. And apparently they have a system now that when a kid gets a pass to go to the bathroom, the parents or guardians or whomever get an email notification. So as I'm working or on the phone or doing whatever, I hear, Jacob went to the bathroom. Like,
By the way, he's very consistent.
He's very
it's
very
three
small
times a day.
bladder.
It's the same times every day. Yeah.
Now when you don't get a notification,
Like,
you're gonna
uh-oh.
Is he
call
okay?
him. Are you okay? What's going on?
Oh boy, you're great. We're all a bunch of psychos, right?
Get him some
Oh,
fiber.
yeah.
He's not regular. Get him some fiber.
Being human. Being human is so weird. Okay, so on to the
I
other.
don't know how we got there. Anyways,
Yeah, it's all good.
I love
So-
a good side quest.
Yes. So we talked about what to do on a day off. We just had coffee, a water, and two mini croissants at how do you
Côte
say
de
it?
France.
La Côte, Côte France, at the end of the block here. For you guys, different, same, whatever it's going to be.
Different.
I would hope, but again, they like a lot of the same
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
know.
we do, I imagine. Do you have a favorite restaurant locally and a favorite dish?
Doesn't have
And-
to be
and-
from that
Yeah,
restaurant.
it doesn't have to be from the same restaurant, but like, you know, if you have friends coming in from out of town, you're like, oh, we're going here.
That's a great question. And my follow up question to that is what time of day are we talking?
Ladies' choice.
Okay, so let's say it's in the morning. You need to go to the Olympia Flame in Deerfield Beach.
Really?
All right,
I've never
they
been.
have
Diner
great
on Federal.
breakfast. The
Yes.
Diner on Federal. Born and raised there. The owner actually was pregnant with her son at the same time my mom was pregnant with me, and they used to gripe about being pregnant together and breaking fries. So I was
Aw.
born and raised there.
Oh, that's
Love
so
it.
cute.
The community is phenomenal, and you think we give into the community. They're another level. Like, and I'm serious when I say
Awesome.
that. They're another level. So you're not just supporting them, you're supporting the surrounding area.
I love to hear that.
That
Okay.
is
great
absolutely
food.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
Greek
been there
food.
for a long time.
Great
I don't think I've ever been there.
Great. Yeah. They're like so
Great
many
Greek food.
diners
Yeah.
are Greek owned and breakfast stuff. And then you're like, whatever, just a little cinnamon in there. I'm like, oh, Greek diner. Yep. Okay, I see where we're at.
Okay.
All right.
Lunch.
Lunch, great question. So it depends on what type of lunch you want. If you want just basic, like pizza, there's actually a couple of them. Now, I was born and raised in Broward, so I can't really speak much on Palm Beach.
Well, wherever.
But
You're in Palm Beach now, so
Two
it's
of my favorites happens to be either Costa's or Patricia's of NYC is what it's called in the
that's
Cove.
in the Cove.
Yeah, so Costa's is in Pompano. It looks like a hole in the wall, but it's actually really nice on the inside. And that is also a Greek place, so they have really good gyros,
Euros, whatever they call it.
Pops
whatever
used to
they're
send
called.
me in,
Yeah.
and I was really
That
mean waitress
delicious
back in the
meat.
day.
Yeah,
And he'd
exactly,
go get me
exactly.
a gyro, and I'd be like, oh, can I have a gyro? And she'd just be like, what do you want? I'm like, I'm so sorry.
That sounds right.
Absolutely phenomenal. And then for dinner, if you're thinking Cuban, you have Little Havana there right in Deerfield Beach. Or a Monty's on the beach is also really nice.
I don't know Monty's either. You're opening us up to these
I know.
new places. By the way, you haven't said anything yet. You're still going to answer.
He's letting Lettie go first.
Absolutely. I'm letting
And I
her roll it out.
guarantee you he has opposite ones because he
Good.
likes different things than me.
Well, I think she's gonna like this one because I agree on Olympia Flame for the breakfast side of things because we really do love that place. We literally every single Sunday we were there, and so when we were kids, and so we've grown up on it and we still go. Now, if we're going lunch, if I'm going a sandwich, I'm gonna hit Seaside Subs. Over
Oh,
there.
hell yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hell
I knew that was
yes.
a resounding yes.
In the
Absolutely.
Cove, loves,
In the-
loves
We
Seaside.
got,
yeah.
God, I posted about it like last week, and a bunch of people said they wanted to go.
Like, he says he's
Phenomenal.
like he
Phenomenal.
makes a social media post. I love my brother. He's not
such
always
an
the
idiot.
brightest.
Yeah.
Thinking
do
about
I get
going,
myself into?
thinking about
That's what
going to
she said to me.
Seaside Subs. Who wants to come? 36 people later, and they have 12 seats. Like, if fucking figure that out.
And by the way, I haven't set anything up yet.
Correct.
But I am dying for their food.
Yeah.
It is the best sandwiches.
Yeah,
I've
sandwiches.
literally
I've never
never had a
been.
bad sandwich, and
It's
I've gotten
impossible.
a different one every time.
Yeah.
They're so
Never
good.
been.
never been?
I gotta go.
Ben.
Ben.
You guys are
After
getting me.
this, that's where we're going.
It is
Oh,
so
jeez,
good.
I love a good sandwich. So.
It is so good.
Gotta
They
keep
got
it.
a dip.
I've never had a
roast beef
cold
dip.
sandwich.
Oh, really?
there.
Roast
I always
beef
get
dip?
the hot ones,
Yeah.
like the
Oh, yeah?
chickens.
I've gotten both.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love them.
Everything I get something different every time, except the last two times I've gotten that dip, that thing, the roast beef dip.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't stop. It's not a good thing.
The one
That's
with
why-
that
that's
jus?
why I'm
Does it have a
allergic.
jus or?
Hey, don't threaten me with a
Yeah,
good time over
it
there.
does.
Ben. All right,
Yeah,
yes,
that
it
sounds
does. Yeah,
delicious.
it's so
That
good.
sounds delicious.
It's so good.
My mouth is watering right
Yeah.
now.
But if I gotta go, all right, let me go this route. Is when I was a kid, I was very picky on food, but chicken wings were like everything I ate. My middle school and high school.
Rachel's just north of Stetson University. Is that where you-
Rachel's Wings,
Rachel's Wings.
Not Rachel's
Steakhouse.
Steakhouse.
Yeah, no,
I've never heard of that place though.
Yeah,
Yeah, what
I
is
don't
that?
know what they
What's
do.
that place?
Yeah, I was a tour guide at Stetson, and I'd say you got to go to Rachel's, and I'm like, no, Rachel's Wings. It's down the road. It's down the road. Just trust me. And
My
so-
kid listens to this, by the way. Be
Yeah, I
careful.
got you. Hey, Rachel's Wings.
Rachel's
look it
Wings,
up. He's
they're
good.
delicious,
All
he
good.
said.
But no, if you go to Mississippi Sweets now
Oh,
here in Boca area,
Yeah.
they have some really solid wings.
Their
as well.
wings are
I
phenomenal.
agree.
Yeah.
Their wings are so good.
Packy's is really good too. If you ever had Packy's wings,
Come on, bro.
out west,
Of course.
solid. All right, hey, just
Yeah.
making sure.
Can I tell you a sneaky good wing place?
Hit me.
Cannoli Kitchen. Believe it or not.
Really?
So that is my family's like favorite pizza place.
Mm-hmm.
Not mine. I think it's too a little greasy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the pizza's not bad. It's also like $900 for a pizza there. But
Yeah.
their wings, phenomenal. I'm telling you, phenomenal.
Hey, don't throw me with a good time. I'll order them like right now, like
Yeah.
on the way home.
They're
What does
very good.
Kugler say? There's a place in like Pompano or Margate or something. He says are the best wings.
I
We
can't
got to
remember.
ask him about
Yeah,
that, and
ask
we'll
him,
tell you.
please.
He's like, and we still haven't gone. God.
Correct.
You know, Big Louie's has some good wings too. I
Yeah?
know that's really random, but my friends they go, "Oh, we're getting from Big Louie's." I was like, "Big Louie's? I haven't been to Big Louie's since I was like 8." And sure enough, they gave me some wings. I was like, "Oh, those are damn good."
Yeah. Now I want wings,
I
man.
know.
yeah. No, those are
All I had was 2 mini chocolate almond croissants from the Code French, which were
What did I
delicious. They were great.
Did I eat
However,
today? Oh, I did. I ate today.
hungry.
I went to the Brazilian
now
bakery
you
this
got
morning,
notes.
so I had a little Brazilian.
You'd see I'm making notes.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
Oh yeah.
and again, the
absolutely.
reason that this question is asked is because I'm always hungry and I'm always looking for great places to eat. I'm selfish.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. Like, I'm selfish. I just want
that's
to learn
cool.
more.
Yeah.
That is also
Just
what
wanna
the
eat more.
Cronins
Hey,
do in their
we
free
all,
time.
we're all a little selfish here and there.
Not
Gotta
me.
be.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm busy making
Bug
notes.
Lady.
Yes.
Is it okay if I just call you Bug Lady?
Oh yeah.
All right. Are there any exciting projects or initiatives in the works for the Bug Lady?
So yes, actually, it's pretty impressive because of the fact that we're considering combining the brand and just turning it into Bug Lady. So all things bugs, buglady.com.
Oh, cool.
My favorite one is this commercial that we're actually creating for TV that is cartoon based. A 17-year-old local actually created it. She's
How cool.
phenomenal. And we're going to have that commercial go out. We also have a jingle coming out soon.
Oh, nice.
He created it.
Cool.
It's phenomenal.
I didn't sing it, but I did write the lyrics.
All right.
And then,
We have a singer here.
Sounds like a good yeah. We
He's
got
right
it, we
here.
got it.
I'm just
All right,
saying.
here we go.
And we have 2 drummers in house.
Yeah, 2 drummers.
Ben and my brother.
a frontline singer. That's
Yeah.
all we need. 2 drummers,
we're
a singer,
cheap.
and a dream.
Yeah,
We got it.
that works. So cool. So you're looking at putting everything
That's awesome.
under one tent?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
See how I did that, by the way?
Absolutely. Hey, we
100%.
appreciate it.
110.
Yeah.
We also do fumigation.
Oh, do you now? Oh, interesting. Glad we brought that
Very
up.
nice.
There are a million bug jokes, right? To-
Yeah.
Well, like we
that's so
started off with the
cheesy, I'm
creepies
sorry.
and crawlies, and
It never ends.
I'm sorry. So, and bugs, I think we kind of touched on get a bad rap.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's something about bugs that you wish more people knew? You know, and just about how they help the environment or whatever. Like, what's something buggy that bugs you? Can I say bugs again?
Yeah.
Say bugs.
Bugs.
Don't say bugs.
All right, you guys are bugging me now with all this bug talk.
Bugs.
No, one of the biggest discussions that we actually have, even in the entomology world, is whether or not the world could survive without them. And the reality is you can't, because if you look at any kind of ecosystem, it actually usually ends up starting with plants, then insects, then animals, and then us.
Right.
So because of that chain of events, in order for our ecosystem and life cycles to maintain and sustain life here on Earth, we have to have insects. So if the human race was completely eradicated,
Earth
literally
would go on
insects
fine.
would heal it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Plants and insects
Interesting.
would take care of everything.
Yeah.
Did
but
you
if
get
we
that,
wiped
Sean?
out
I know that's
mosquitoes,
above-
Wouldn't be it.
Yeah, I zoned out.
That's
for a
above your
minute. I
expertise
wasn't paying
there.
attention. What happened? Huh?
That's
You're
science.
on a podcast, Sean. Sean McPaul.
and by the way, so were you impressed by my question about the magnolia flower and the beetle earlier? We saw.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So again, and I think Rosie is my sister-in-law.
Yes.
My
I
brother's
think we covered that.
right. My
Yeah.
brother's wife's sister is my sister-in-law. So Rosie, last night, I was talking about that we're going to be having this conversation today, and she said, "Did you know something like there's a plant that is not fertilized? What do you call it? Pollinated."
Look at me. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. Why did I look at him instead of the entomologist? That is so. Hey, look at the realtor, not the entomologist. See, I'm not that bright. See, there's always one sibling that just can't hang with the others. But the magnolia flower is pollinated by beetles. It sort of evolved before bees even existed. Like, I never even thought about that's cool. And you know stuff like that,
yeah, it's crazy.
right? The bugs, I suppose, they help the world.
Yeah.
They might. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So for a fun one now, and I want you to answer separately.
Ooh.
If you could be any bug for a day, which one would it be? And por qué, which is Spanish for why.
You first.
No, you first. I've been answering every question.
Yes, Sean.
Fair
Yes,
enough.
Sean.
Fair enough. Little ladies first. Bug lady first. All right. If I got to choose one, now everybody's going to think I would go for the roach because
Right.
that's what I dress up as all the time. But just because I'm a roach dresser doesn't mean,
Roach dresser.
We go that route. I came up with that on the fly.
Can
by
I
the
tell you
way.
that might end up as being like best quote of the conversation? Just because I'm a roach dresser.
The thing is going to
No
be
big
me
deal.
in the roach costume
Yeah.
with some hair. And
Oh,
stuff.
done.
Yeah. Anyways,
Done.
but no, honestly, I think this is odd, but a praying mantis would be
Okay.
pretty cool because I've always admired the way they move and how quickly they go,
Amazing.
but also how patient they are. They just kind of hang out. They blend in.
Mm-hmm.
They just sit there, and I don't know. I have a very big fascination with praying mantises.
They're cool.
Personally.
I've
I
always
I'm
get a
assuming you'd
tattoo
want to
of
be a
one.
female, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You don't wanna
Because
be the
don't they
male.
the males get eaten by the females or something?
yeah. Well, some praying mantises are into that, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those things.
I thought it was the roach dressers that were.
yeah, it might be.
Lettie, you're up.
Insect or bug?
Uh-oh.
So all bugs.
Bug.
Technical.
This
Entomologist.
freaking entomologist.
Damn
Jeez.
entomologist.
Yeah. All insects are bugs, but not all bugs are insects because
Uh-oh.
you think of tarantulas and scorpions.
Uh-oh.
If it's any kind of bug, it would honestly. It'd be a scorpion. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it would have to be an emperor scorpion
Okay.
in particular. They're just absolutely beautiful, and just the fact that they're able to extend their whole entire body to be able to then snap and flip over to sting their prey is just absolutely incredible.
Right? That makes sense.
I feel like her answer is better than mine.
Yeah,
Can I change
she
my answer
wins.
to her answer.
I'm sorry.
No.
And by the way,
No,
so let me ask. In a real life bug fight, right? Praying mantis is a predator.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpion, emperor scorpion.
Yeah.
Who wins the bug fight?
I would,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah, easy.
yeah, you, not the
I
scorpion.
have venom. I do.
I think it's rigged. Personally, I think it's rigged. I don't know.
I love that. All right. Sean, you go out and actually in houses.
Yes.
You are out there and spraying and taking care of everybody.
Mhm.
Can I imagine that over the years you have had a strange or weird or memorable moment out in the field?
Quite a few.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
what's one or two that you're like, oh my God, let me tell you about the time that
I mean, okay, so other than the times that
Lettie seems
somebody
to
is-
have a look on her face like she knows.
Yeah, well, there's just a
There's a
few.
list
Just
of
like
them.
if you're spraying a baseboard, we call it baseboard jockeying. It's not hard. You're just creating a barrier around the house. When somebody walks in front of you and just points to the baseboard all the way around their house, and I'm sorry if you're one of these, but don't do this. It's just it's like you pointing to the ingredients when somebody's trying to make a pizza.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they know how to make a pizza.
Yeah.
Like, let them make the pizza.
Yeah.
But they just walk in front of you,
And point at
but
the
they're like
baseboard.
2 feet in front of you. They're not like, hey, go around, and they just point, and it's like, look, I know where to spray. So that's one of them. But
Yeah. Well, sometimes I like to show them. Yeah. I mean,
you just, right here, right this way, right this
Do you
way.
see her
good
the
sir.
that's the baseboard?
just so you know,
You never know.
when I'm showing property, sometimes we have to do accompanied showings when I'm working with a buyer and the listing agent has to help us. There's many times
Oh, yeah.
where that listing agent shows us what the kitchen is and which one's the bathroom, and I always have a smart ass remark because I am, and I'm like, wait.
Which one?
Which one was the kitchen again? Was the one with the toilet? I get so confused.
Do you have a pen? I'd like to write that down.
Kitchen was upstairs, right?
Right, people are people regardless of profession or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the
You should just
baseboard
spray them
jockeys-
a little poison, just a
Absolutely.
little.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, my bad. You should probably move.
Yeah.
or smell this jar.
Yeah, smell this
Oh,
guy.
yes.
Get the kill shots going. But I gotta be honest. There's just one. I gotta say it here because it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I got into Lady's attic, and it's a little old lady, and she's probably in her 70s, and I'm doing a termite inspection, just regular, doing whatever, and she's really freaking out about termites, and I go, I got you covered. I've been doing this since I was literally 6 years old, and my dad had me doing inspections and stuff, not going into attics, but just looking around for bugs. And so I know what I'm doing. So let me do my business. Let me do my inspection. I get up into the attic, and I'm all the way in the corner, and my flashlight's losing battery, and I'm like, oh man. And I'm just going around, and out of nowhere, it's like the second coming of Jesus. My eyes get blinded.
Really?
I'm sitting there. I got to hold on to the thing. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I look over. There's a 76-year-old lady holding a floodlight. She's
Really?
standing in the attic. She used my ladder to get in here, which
Oh my
I didn't
God.
even know was a thing. I never thought I had to tell a
Right.
little old lady not to
Don't
do
climb.
this. And now I'm looking at her,
you're
and I'm
blind.
going like this, trying not to go. And I go, please, no, get down. And she goes, are there any termites up here? I'm like, ma'am, you need to get down. The fact that you use my ladder is not okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to go away. Like,
Yeah.
go. And,
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, all right, but give me the floodlight.
Yeah.
please. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Can I use your light, please?
So did she have termites?
No.
All right, good.
At least not at that time. So
Excellent.
we figured it out.
I like that.
So if you could give one piece of advice to someone looking to start or get into a business with a family member,
Gross.
what would that be? What advice? Don't look to her.
For me, it would be, and I'm sure you guys understand this, is how would I say, understanding when to let something go. Never keep pulling the rope, because we find ourselves in life where we're pulling the rope, and so I'm not sure how to word it. You guys are going to come up with a word because you guys are way smarter than I am. But when you hold on to that rope, it just causes rope burns, and next thing you know, it's your hands are just hurting. And so being able to just let go of the rope and say, hey, this isn't a fight. This is an actual. We're both rowing in the same direction.
we're on the
Right.
same
So
team.
if we're in a rowboat and we're rowing in opposite directions, this is not going to work. And
Right.
so being able to reciprocate, stop yourself, understand what's going on, communicate your feelings and where you're trying to go, and just be able to kind of sacrifice your own ego in certain situations, because there's a lot of times where I bring an idea to Lettie. I'm a big idea guy, and she comes in and goes, that sucks. And that hurts my ego. But over the years, I've learned to go, okay, well, what's better?
Right.
And we've now been able to learn from, instead of
Yes,
mostly
fight.
on me fighting opposite directions, we're now rowing in the same direction. And so being able to drop the rope, so to speak. I don't know where I read that.
Did you
from, but
write
yeah.
that down by any chance, Michael? Michael?
So that reminds me, I told you about that quote the other day. So I don't know if you follow football at all, but the New England Patriots, we're big Patriots fans. They just recently hired a new coach, Mike Vrabel, and one of the questions he was asked at an interview was, when these other coaches have different ideas, and they're not agreeing with you, what are you going to do about that? And his response was absolutely beautiful. It was something, it's not word for word. It was something like, we don't want to agree on everything. As long as we have the same goal, the same dream, that's all that matters. We'll get there. We need to have different ideas to get to that point. And it's like, that really hit home. I'm like, wow. To me, that was brilliant. And that's kind of
Yeah, it's basically
What you just said.
Absolutely, sacrificing.
you're as smart
yourself
as Mike
ego to
Vrabel.
find something that's best. And thank you, I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
That was really cool,
That's the
by the way.
nicest compliment I've gotten in a long
That was
time.
very cool. I called you the handsome cockroach, didn't I?
Oh, thank you. That's
Something
right.
like
That's
that.
right. That was the second nicest
Okay,
compliment I've gotten in a long time.
Yeah.
Dang.
So Dan, you gonna do the next part here?
Okay. You guys, we asked you to have your phones out.
Yes.
So our question is, what is the image on your phone lock screen, and is there a story behind it?
I hope it's something creepy.
Lettie, is your battery alive?
Yeah, mine is alive. It is just my logo.
Right, because you
Which
are.
is a super cool logo. So
Look how cool it is.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Pretty awesome. It's
it's
based
the
off
bug.
of a real photo.
Right, the bug. Yeah. What kind of bug is that?
A giant African millipede.
Oh my! And when we zoomed in on the photo, the actual photo, like the legs were in your eyeball.
Yeah, and the-
Gross. Yeah.
that actually is a very crazy story. So back a while, they didn't necessarily squash it because a lot of people still do it, but there used to be #BugOnFace. And the University of Florida really wanted this as a part of their promotion. So they actually originally put a tarantula on my face. Once they put the tarantula on my face, it just became a thing for me to put bugs on my face.
What was the name of the tarantula?
Buttercup.
Did you see the way
He raised his
Did
hand.
you, no. But did you see the way the little brother just went? And
Excuse me.
what was the name of
Sorry.
But it was the whole attitude thing.
And the reason why I'm like over explaining this on purpose is because of the fact that a lot of people don't know this, but if you feel your fingernail has a protein called chitin.
Okay.
And this chitin is the same thing that is in the exoskeleton of insects and bugs.
Yeah, everyone knows
Obviously.
that.
That's important because they're also cousins to crustaceans. So
Okay.
I'm allergic to shellfish,
Oh,
which means that I'm also technically allergic to my bugs.
that's not
And
terrible
I put
at all.
them on
right?
my face.
Yeah.
And I get mild reactions. So when it ended up in my eye, it
She
took
almost lost the eye.
No, I didn't almost lose the eye, but it was definitely one of those things like,
You
don't try this at
volunteered.
home, kids.
Let me scoop it out. Let me get the eye.
yeah.
Get me a spoon.
Yeah, 100%.
So what's your lock screen, Sean?
So my lock screen is my
Aw.
dog Gracie. But the thing is I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me go here, see if I can get it going.
Oh.
Of course, it goes off right as I do that. But yeah, you see her move.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that in her mouth is actually a sticker that we give out to the kids when they touch a Madagascar hissing cockroach. They get a sticker for that. And
Very
so
cool.
the
I
thing
don't
is
think I
she
want
had
a
it-
sticker.
Yeah, she came out and she had it in her mouth. And I was
Aw.
like, stop. She thought she was in trouble.
Oh.
So I snapped a quick photo.
Oh, that's cute.
That is beautiful.
And that's the real reason he dresses up as a cockroach, so the kids can give him high fives and they still have the sticker.
Aw.
on.
Oh yeah, because some of them are scared. So
Yeah.
so we were like, oh, let's get
I'd
a
be
roach
scared.
costume. And then half the kids, we did quite a few where the kids didn't want to do it, and there was one specific area where we did a special needs school, and none of them wanted to touch the roach. So instead of touching the roach, I tried to give them a high five, but none of them wanted to give me a high five. They only wanted to give me a hug.
Oh,
And so I
that's
sat there,
awesome.
and now I had a line of 23 students.
Oh my God, so
And I'm
cute.
just giving them hugs.
That's
and they're
awesome.
taking photos with me. I felt like a little
Like a
little
star.
celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I gave them stickers afterwards. It was a really good time. It was
That's
cool.
cool.
That's a good day, right?
It was a really good day.
That's a nice day at work.
Still makes me smile. It
course.
was a good time, you know.
That is so cool. So let's take a quick break
Yes.
to highlight a terrific referral partner and past guest of the show. The one we actually talked about him earlier, the one, the only Michael Piccoli and On Target Digital Marketing. With over 50 years of combined experience, they are a nationwide digital marketing company helping businesses grow their online presence and drive results. Whether you need SEO, social media management, or web design, On Target Digital Marketing has you covered. Visit ontargetdigitalmarketing.com and tell them the Digital Mayor sent you.
Yes, whether you're looking to enhance your online presence, generate leads, or connect with your audience, Michael and his team can help. So visit ontargetdigitalmarketing.com to learn more.
Okay, so it's time for a fun segment, and we'll just do one of you, or maybe we'll see if you both have a comment. So this is the Book of Awesome, and essentially what it is, it's a book of things that are just like kind of feel good or are nice or this or that. So what we ask is, we're going to pass this over. We ask that one of you open it up, flip to a random page, just look at the headline, and let us know if it brings up a thought, a memory, a story, something. It's interesting. Take a look. Don't be too scared.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot over it.
Paper, scissors, shoot. Oh,
All
all right. Sean, you lose.
Yeah, here we go. When the guy at the border doesn't ask any questions.
Oh, yeah, all right. Maybe we shouldn't talk about
Yeah,
this.
maybe not. Maybe let me go over here.
Choose a different one.
He does have a story for that.
I'm sure. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We like keeping Sean out of jail.
right. Actually, because it just did that. Getting the eyelash out of your eye. All right. This is not an eyelash story,
Okay.
but I don't know why it came. This came up. So at Stetson University, they built this beautiful building. It's the business center. I believe it was the Lynn Business Center. I don't remember the specific name. I was a tour guide, not a very good one, of course, as you could tell. So
Rachel's
but-
wings.
somewhere over there.
Rachel's wings. Yeah, I was more focused on the wings than anything else. But the building on the east side was all glass, and so when you went to class and you had a morning class, the sun would be rising in the east,
Okay.
and there's no blinds or anything. It's a very professional school, and so I had information technology class, and it was kind of cold. But every morning I would sneeze because of the sun.
Sure,
I'm
in
very,
your eyes.
very okay, cool. So it's cold, so I got chapped lips. So I'm like licking my lips, and I'm like, man, it's cold. Man, it's cold. And at this time, I was getting really buff. At the time, I was like benching 315. I'm like, I'm big. I can barely scratch my own face,
Yep.
and so I'm feeling good. And I got this shirt that is sticking up like this on both of my arms. Well, anyways, I'm licking my lips. I'm going. The sun hits, and I just look over and. Right, it was just the stars aligned. I sneezed into my shoulder, but I literally made the wettest fart noise you could probably imagine. And the thing is the teacher was mid-sentence, goes, if you need to take it outside and go to the bathroom, feel free. And I go, that was a sneeze. My friend Alex was absolutely dying next to me, and this sassy girl in front of me turns around and goes, that was a sneeze. She goes, mm-hmm. And I look at her, and everybody, now I'm pinned as the guy that farted really loud in class.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I don't know. That had nothing to do with eyelashes.
Speaking of eyelashes,
yeah, speaking of eyelashes.
Listen,
here's a fun story.
we say, what does it bring up? That was pretty.
That's awesome.
That was really pretty awesome. I
that'll
love
be our
that.
clip for this.
There we go.
done.
Sounds like a plan. To
I
me.
don't know if that's going to beat the roach dresser.
Roach dresser.
We get a couple. We have a couple of highlights. My brother and I wanted to say thank you. Your passion for what you do and your love and appreciation for each other and the community is contagious. It's so cool. We're so glad that you're able to come, hopefully share what you guys are passionate about, spread the word, get more people into what you do and the bugs and the whole thing. It is just awesome. Thank you. We appreciate you making time for us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having us.
here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to our viewers and listeners, remember to visit buglady.com to learn more about everything bugs, and also visit greatsouthernenvironmental.com to learn more about their services. Mention the Digital Mayors podcast to waive your initial pest control fee and get bi-monthly services for just $75.
Oh, maybe you do their service in the roach dresser. Do you ever?
That's an extra $25.
I was saying that's cash on the side.
Deal.
Lettie doesn't hear about that. Is that what
I'll
that's
never
about?
see
Is
it.
that what's about? And
Where you getting all this money,
Nor
Sean?
should you, right? You don't want to know about. You don't want to know about that. So be sure to follow Lettie and Sean on social media. Support their amazing work and the outreach they're doing in helping the community. Remember, while you're at it, please subscribe to. Hey, look at him in there. Subscribe to the Digital Mayors podcast. Leave us a 5-star review and share this episode with someone who loves learning about bugs, local businesses, and supporting our community.
Yes. So thank you all for now, and bye.
Bye for now.
We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Squaw.
My brother and his squaw.
Gotta throw that squaw in.
Got it.
You guys are so good. So good. It's like more people need to know about you.